Okay, let's start. I was thinking, you get to a stage where you've completed the form, and then we've got 2 or 3 weeks over Christmas. What do you do? What do you do? How do you practice? Do you just simply run through the form, start to finish, or how do you know the right thing to do to get yourself to advance or refine your training? So let's begin anyway. Step on the dog. Not a good start, is it? Heels together. Feel the body over the feet. This is how I always begin my practice. I always start by settling down in a very strong, upright, comfortable position. I find this the best way to put my mind and my body together. It's just to put my body in a good, upright, organized condition, and then just let my mind settle. And I use the sensations in the body as my anchor. Sensations of softening, sensations of the weight in the feet, sensations of how the weight is balanced in the feet, sensations of feeling the weight of the arms pulling down the shoulders, sensations of the diaphragm and abdomen softening, the groin and the buttocks and the lower back softening. And I just wait until I feel something inside me just go, oh, here I am. That sigh, that feeling of, here I am. I just wait, and it may take 5 seconds, it may take 25 seconds. I wait until I feel that feeling, and then I'll start moving. I'll go into the beginning of parallel stance. The first thing I normally do are physical exercises to loosen up. So I might roll my shoulders in both directions, or I might feel into my body which part of my body feels tight. It may be that I need to warm up underneath the kneecap. My knees are feeling tight. I may just warm up by rubbing underneath the kneecap. I may stretch out the back of the legs and use an exercise like this to help pull that ligament to the back of the leg. Any yoga exercises that just help generally stretch you open. Just gently elongating that under the leg. I may do it that way. I may do it this way. We're moving across. So generally just open up the back of the legs, open up the hips. Exercises for the shoulders. I'll stretch up and lean across. My weight is in this leg. The hand is down, the fingers pointing to the side. You have to be careful. You put your hand above your head, not in front of you when you do this. Really bring your hand above your head. The distance your hand goes doesn't matter. It's just that you lean and the weight of your arm pulls open this whole side. So I'm softening into this side of the body. I'm releasing the muscles on this side, and I'm just letting the weight of the arm open up between the elbow and the hip. And then to come out of this, I bring the arm up, let the arm come down below the shoulder, and it counterlevers the body. Of course, then you have to do the other side. Straight up first, make sure you can feel that alignment and that stretch right from the fingertips right through to the feet. And then the arm goes first, palm down, hand goes fingers towards the wall, bring the weight into the leg, 100% in one leg, and then let the weight of the arm and the tilt of the body mechanically be the pivot to open up this area. Keep it active. Don't let it get stuck. Keep it moving. Come out of it, go back into it, come out of it. Keep it alive rather than just trying to hold a posture, because you're trying to explore this area rather than just be in a posture for a number of minutes. To come out of it, the arm, as it comes down below the shoulder, counterlevers the body, and you'll feel that open up the whole chest. I may do the scooping exercise to get the joints in the knees, the hips, and the chest working. Might do 3 or 4 of those. Especially to focus on the whole body moving together. Moving to the side, folding. When I'm doing it for myself, if I turn to the side and I feel out of balance or I feel I haven't sunk enough, I'll do it again. I won't just go through the whole cycle. I'll really make sure that that feels upright and that feels settled and the hips feel level. Move on. What I won't do is just go through the exercises willy-nilly, come to a posture that feels uncomfortable. I'll try and make sure, what was I doing there that I just moved across with the upper body, not really listening to the hips, not really listening to the sinking, and I'll repeat it. I'll ask myself the question, why doesn't this posture feel stable? And I'll try and understand, I wasn't letting go of my low back. As I moved into it and turned into it, I need to soften and feel the ground the whole time I'm moving towards the foot. Now I feel stable and upright. Then I'll flow on. So I use the exercise to answer questions. If I feel uncomfortable in my body, I'll repeat it. Then I might do a big deep stretching exercise like this one, which I find really useful for opening up the back of the legs and the arms. As I come up and drop the arms, come up vertically above the head, go onto the back leg, and when you're on the back leg, let the arms fall behind you, opening up like a big Y. As you come forwards, 50-50, the arms drop. As you go onto the front foot, fold the hips, lift the arms. Let them fall forwards if you can. Ground and stabilize in the front foot. When the arms are vertical, you're over the back foot, and then lean backwards slightly to open up the chest. On the other side. When you lean backwards with this one, try to get the movement of the arms to come from what the shoulders and the chest do, don't just open up the hands. Try to feel that when your hands are here, you're softening this whole area of your body, you're softening your back, and you're allowing your arms to drop behind you. Let's do it. With the other foot forwards, coming onto the front foot, the arms go up. Moving onto the back foot, we've got the stretch, and then softening the shoulders, connecting the arms, leaning slightly backwards, stable in the back leg, coming forwards. One more. And now I feel opened up. I feel ready to do some Tai Chi now. For myself, I go through the 5 loosening exercises. but I look at specific details in each one. Now, for every single person, at whatever level you're at or wherever you are in your own practice, what you're looking at in each exercise might be different. So for some people, it might be staying upright. For some people, it might be changing different parts of the body, maybe the hip joints or the shoulder joints. For some people, it may be keeping the hips level. For some people, it may be stabilizing the body. For some people, it may be moving smoothly in a coordinated way. It's really, really useful to have one clear focus. That you continue in one exercise, you continue it in the next, and then you move it into the form. So in that way, when you look at the whole form, that becomes the main thing you're trying to find and change and understand more deeply in what you do. Because what can often happen is you do the form, first posture you're looking at accuracy, second posture you're looking at grounding, third posture you're looking at alignment, fourth posture, what was I looking at? And it gets a real jumble of different ideas, and you end up thinking about it as you go through the form. What we want to try and do is feel our way into the form. So, common way to meditate is to have a simple, steady anchor that you return to. So when your monkey mind flips off into this thought, that you return. And we use the Taiji like that. So having our focus, maybe it's staying upright in each posture. I'd go through the loosening exercises and that in mind. And I would bring my attention to what I want to work with before I do it. Or, also possible, just enter into doing the first loosening exercise and see what you feel. But I recommend the best way is for about a month or two to have one focus, and one particular focus, because then over a month, over 2 months, you'll notice a change. And when one part of the jigsaw gets more developed, the piece next to it fits in differently, and you'll start to see a difference. But if you practice on 20 different ideas, none of them really change that significantly. Okay, so at the expense of maybe being grounded, you look at your upright posture, or vice versa. But they all fit together and they all have a knock-on effect. So I can't say specifically what you need to work on. Can't say. I can look at you move, but it would be a more of an ongoing conversation with you over time, and seeing you probably in person to do that, or seeing a video of you to do that. But many of the ideas we've been working with, important. Some of the things you'll work with will be just simply remembering the form, absolutely fine, important. And then within that, deeper layers as well. So when I practice, I'll do the 5 loosening exercises. Then I will do the stepping exercise, okay? So the stepping exercise, if you remember, is you start in the bow stance, you move onto the left foot, you turn, you step, you move into the 50-50, you turn, and you sink. You move, moving on to the right foot, turn, step, move, turn, sink. So M, move, T, turn, S, sink. MTS, MTS. Move, M, turn to the corner, step, move into the 50-50, turn square, S, sink. Move. I'm going to break it down into the things we need to find in this exercise. When we move forward, I need to be stable in the front foot. All my movement from the 50-50 posture through to the front foot, back heel coming off the ground, is making me more and more stable. Every single drop of weight that moves forwards stabilizes me. I need to be stable so that when I turn, I maintain my stability. If I'm stable, I can take an empty step with the left heel. Okay, so this is how you break down the simple things we're going to do in the form into an exercise, and you look at one thing at a time. Stability, trickle the weight in. If you're not stable, do it again. Soften the foot. Feel the knee press into the foot. Feel the hips soften towards the knee. So you've got the body stacking up on top of itself. Body stacks up on top of itself. The first thing to stabilize will be the foot on the ground. Little finger is the foot. First thing is the foot touches, then the knee, which is the next finger, then the hips, then the shoulders. Everything stacks up on top of itself. So the first thing you have to stabilize is the foot. How do we stabilize the foot? We soften it. We let the weight of the body press it onto the ground. We choose which part of the foot we want to stabilize. Not the heel, not the ball, not the outside edge, all of the foot, the whole of the foot. Then we bring the knee over. Then we open the lower back, soften the chest, nice and stable. Move, move and find stability. Move and find stability. Then we turn. We want this turning to be such that it doesn't cause the knee to come in, doesn't cause the knee to turn at all. So as we turn, the knee stays exactly where it is. It can bend, but it mustn't move laterally. Need to be stable and upright, then focus on the turning in the hip joint, not in the ankle. Then I can step with the heel, and it's a single weighted step. So I've done move, turn, step. Then I move in. As I reach the center, my left foot touches down. As I reach the center, my left foot touches. Don't put the foot down and then move. Move in so that your left foot arrives at the same time as your weight in the 50-50 posture. You look at my feet, they're at 90 degrees. Move forward, turn, step, move. I'm in the center. Turn the hips. Weight is 50-50. The weight stays 50-50 while I turn. I'm pivoting on the back heel. The amount my hips move, my whole leg moves with my hips. So I stay in the center the whole time. They just tightened and became unstable then. So I sink, turn, and finally let go of any tension in the body, sink, small releasing into the posture, finishing with my hips and my shoulders square. Okay, so this exercise you can see sets you up to start to really feel what you're doing. Expect there to be tons that doesn't work, okay? Really expect this exercise not to be easy, and expect to move into a position where you can't get stable, or when you turn you feel unstable, or your knee comes in. These are the things you're trying to develop and get. Fix is the wrong word because that implies they're broken or they're wrong. You're trying to train your body to follow what you want it to do. Okay. Has anyone got any thoughts or questions before I move on about that little stepping exercise? We don't do it very often, but it's a really important way of understanding what we do in the form. Really important way of just for 5 minutes you can, it's almost like a mini form where you haven't got to worry about the hands and the whole body coordination.
And that's the same principle as when you're doing the cloud hands, the side stepping. I know you're not turning, but it's the same principle, isn't it? Moving, finding your stability.
It's the same principle in pretty much all the stepping, Louise, in all the form. As you move, it's like pouring, you know, we're all going to be doing this over Christmas, aren't we? We're pouring drinks. And it might be a fizzy drink, and you don't just throw it into the glass, right? You take care. And you put the glass on the side, and you gently, and you take care with your weight as you organize the glass and the bottle, so you'll organize how your body's going to receive its own weight. And you watch and you listen and you feel, and you don't move forward another drop until what you've already got is settled. This is the way you teach your body how to receive the weight of the body. And most of the time, like it or not, we're resisting the weight of our body with our muscle groups. Okay. What we want to do in Tai Chi is receive the weight of the body. We want the muscle groups to change in such a way that they're receptive to the weight going onto the muscle groups. But normally we react and we hold ourselves off the ground. A completely different approach.
It's really interesting for me, just in terms of the older people I work with who are at risk of had falls, because we do a lot of sidestepping and they find it incredibly incredibly difficult to do a sidestep. And I do try and introduce some of the things that you talk about, because people need to be able to step safely with stability.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll tell you what happens with stepping is that generally what happens when people step is they lock themselves in motion, they lock themselves for stability. So very momentarily, while they're quickly taking a step or quickly in order to move one leg off the ground and take it off the ground, they lock the other side. And that gives a quick moment in time before they fall over, really, that they can move the leg, especially with old people. I'm teaching some old people in the new year. In order to pick this one up, this side has to be completely stable. If you haven't learned how to stabilize in the Tai Chi way, the only other option you've got is balance. And balance generally comes from static, locking yourself in position. So balance comes from the weight of the body being in the right position over the foot. And if all this is static, you can put the weight of the body in a place for a moment and pick up the foot. It's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for in Tai Chi is much more of a fluid system that changes in the moment, and it's really difficult to teach this quickly. You have to teach it slowly because the muscles have to trust the weight of the body. Okay, so you have to put 10% of your weight in a way that feels like it's all changing. Then you have to put 20% of your weight in and it feels like it's still buoyant and changing. What you don't want is it to stop. You don't want to put all your weight in and it stop. The muscles keep the leg straight. You want the leg bending, the lower back softening, the foot pressing onto the ground, all these buoyant fluid things happening, and they continue to happen while you move the other leg. So how do you teach that to an older person who has got some brittleness and some fear maybe of falling as well? And maybe somebody who's used to using a prop like sticks. These are difficult things. But I start with getting people to feel their feet, getting people to feel the whole of their foot like a much wider, broader platform than this little thing that's kind of at the bottom of their leg down there that's only that big. I try and get them to feel how their foot softens and becomes a triangle, like a cone, much bigger. And I also ask people to feel under the ground and imagine the whole foot is spreading roots under the ground. Because how you approach it with your mind, if there is fear of falling, if there is, I speak to my mum and dad. My dad 98 last week and my mum's 90 next year. Apart from the fact they've lost most of their friends, nearly all of their friends have fallen over, including themselves at one time or another. Some have taken them to hospital, some of them have broken their hips. And it's a genuine concern, it's a real concern. So not letting that concern make you tight and frightened is important too. So slowly feeling, my leg could support me, my leg could support me if I put a bit more weight in, if I bounce into it a little bit, if I feel it. Can I feel the foot, the toes? Can I feel the heel? Can I feel the outside edge? Is it there for you? And these sorts of things start to kind of give people a bit more confidence. But it takes time to soften something that's locked takes time to soften. And in old age, people get locked in their bodies and the muscles haven't got the mobility they have. So for us, the Tai Chi is important at this age. Going on into our older age, it's really important that we maintain this fluid, we learn and maintain this fluidity. And if you're teaching older people or helping older people, slow, a little bit at a time and encouraging, and getting to feel if you can. Okay, great. Let's move on. The stepping exercise. I want to try and make sure that everything I do in the stepping exercise translates into the form, okay? What do I mean by that? For example, say I'm going from holding the ball, beginning of the form, into ward off left. I want to make sure that when I turn to the corner and when I step, obviously I'm stable. Obviously I'm putting my left foot in the right place. Just move back so you can see. When I move in, I'm in the middle. I'm not going to go onto my front foot, turn the back foot in and sit back. Okay. When I move in, my left foot goes down as I arrive in the middle. My hips turn, I pick up the toes, both legs equally weighted while I turn. Okay, there's weight in the back heel. Don't try and bring all the weight forward so the back foot feels free. Try and pivot on the heel, pivot on the heel. Turn, stay in the center, sink in the center. Square. You can do that in the stepping exercise. Then when you do the form, try and bring that in. Okay. So I'm talking about accuracy of the form, but I'm also talking about the control of the body and the softening of the body and the inquiry. So when I go from holding the ball, turn and lift the left hand and step, move in, square and sink. Let's just do that move together, please. Holding the ball in the form that's facing 3 o'clock. Move forward, the left heel peels. Nice and stable and upright over the right. Turn to the corner, the left hand is drawn up. Fingers of the right, now looking into the left hand. The hands are on the center line of the body. Step. Move into the 50-50. The left foot touches down. Now I'm in the middle. Turn. Square to 12 o'clock. Sink. Right hand drops. Nice round open posture. And if I'm practicing for myself, I might do that move 5 times, 10 times. Now it could be any move in the form. It could be any move in the form that I like the look of, that I feel, I just want to practice that a few times. But in my practice period, I will take one move of the form, moving into another form, posture, maybe 2 or 3 postures, but just a tiny little chain of postures, and do them 10 times. That's what I will do. If I have an hour to practice, I will do that, maybe 10, maybe even more. And what I'm looking for in that, there's something I could, I wasn't softening my front hip. I wasn't aware of, or I wasn't softening the back of my neck and my shoulders, or my posture wasn't quite round enough. It needs to be more open. And I'll start to look for those sorts of things and see what I notice, see what my habit is. So on the first few, I'll probably notice my habitual way of doing things more. And in the last few, I try and bring it more in line with the Taiji postures, the principles, the Taiji principles. Okay, that's how I practice. I take a small chain of the form. It might be diagonal flying, going into waving hands in clouds, and then you can practice that side step. And that might be the postures that I do. It might be white crane spreads wings, going into brush left knee twist step. And if it works well, and I learn something from it, the next day I might choose a couple of other moves. And in that way, in a month or so, I can go through the whole form. And then you start again, you repeat the circle again at the beginning of the form, and you go through it again. The spiral deepens each time you go through that little section. And to do that, you have to have almost like either a mental notebook of which bit you're looking at, or, I don't do it, but even a physical notebook would be fine. And you just have a list of the postures of the form and you tick them off. You go through them. And that way you're actually studying, right? You're not just doing the form. You're not just waking up in the morning and doing 15 minutes. You've decided, I'm going to study this thing. This thing is worth studying. It's worth giving 15, 20 minutes a day to. I'm going to use that time the best I can to really kind of like look at myself as I do it. This is how when I see peers of mine who have been practicing a while and they develop over time, and I ask them, what do you do in your practice? How comes, when last time I saw you 6 months ago, your practice looks this much better? And how comes? Well, this is how I've been practicing. And I see other people who've been practicing with me and their practice stays the same. I say, well, what have you been doing? Well, I've been practicing every day, but I just go through the form. And, there's an enjoyment of going through the form for sure. But I'm talking about studying it. I'm not talking about just getting the quietening down of going through a form. I'm talking about actually really building up some knowledge and some understanding of what we're doing. So we're going to go through the whole form together. Before we do, any questions or thoughts before we go through the form together? Okay, let's do it. I'm just going to give myself a time check. Good. Plenty of time. Nice, slow, steady form. Bring the heels together. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. Body upright. Settling down, quieting down into the sensations. The whole of the foot. Awareness of the crown of the head. Making the body as loose as possible. Waiting for that moment where you just feel both knees sink. Drop by drop by drop by drop by drop by drop to the left foot. Turn back. And when the right foot closes, bring the weight to both feet. Realign the body. Settle down. Use the legs. And release the base. The body follows. Everything settles together. Turn the waist. Left foot. Sit away from the right wrist. Weight in the left. Turn the waist. Holding the ball. 50-50 weight. Small push with the back foot to the hands. Find the front foot. Turn to the corner. Step left. Keep the left foot up. And it just touches down as you arrive in the middle. Turn the waist. And sink. Nice round posture, settled. Forwards to the left. Turn to 1:30. Step. Move. Turn. Sink. Small push with the back leg to turn the hips. And back to 3:00. Sit back, weight in the left foot. Roll back, press, 50-50 weight, small push through to the wrist. Foot the left foot, turn the hips. Move. Function to both hands, single weight. Turn and dip the fingers. Lifting hands, facing 12:00. Shoulder stroke. Facing 10:30. Small push with the back foot, turns the hips. Move on to the right foot, turning to face 12:00. Spiral up, facing 9:00. White crane, spreads wings. Brush left knee. Small push with the back foot to the hand. Drop onto the left foot. Slide the right toes along the ground and lift the heel. Step down with the ball of the foot. Lift both hands as you sit back and play guitar. All the weight in the right leg. Turn open. Turn back and fold the elbows. Step left. Move in. Square. Sink. Small expansion to the hand. Sit back. Turn to 8:00. Move on to the left. Lift the hands and the right knee. Turn. Step right, keep turning. All the weight on the right, step left, into the center. Sink, small expansion to punch. Hold the right elbow, the back. Push with the left foot forwards. Cross hands. First third of the form. Release onto the right foot. Step back to the left foot. Keep turning the body. Draw in the toes. Step out to half past four with the right foot. Move into the center. Square. Posture. Brace tiger, return to mountain. Small push with the back leg. Turns the hips to 5 o'clock. Turn back to half past four. Draw back to the left foot. Roll back. 50-50 posture. Press. 50-50 posture. Push. Single whip facing half past 10. Now it's immortal, flap sleeves, sit back long in the arms, left palm up, right palm down, turn clockwise, weight in the right foot, turn anti-clockwise, weight in the right foot, step left, move on to the left foot, step right to half past 10, hands in front of the body, palm down, turn and jab with the left fingers, up to half past 10, punch under elbow facing 9 o'clock. Step back to repulse monkey. Three times on each side. Second turn on the right. Turn back to 9 o'clock. Straight back. Second on the left, turn open. Turn back to 9 o'clock. Step right. Third turn on the right. Straight back. Third turn on the left. Diagonal flying. Keep the weight on the left foot, step behind with the right. Turn the left in. Step out to half past 1. Into the 50-50. And small push, expand. Diagonal flying. Draw in as you move forward, turning the waist. Find your buoyancy and balance over the right foot. Drop the left. And step out. As you drop the left, keep everything buoyant and moving and changing and adjusting as you step. Keep everything sinking, changing and adjusting as you step. Don't let your body tighten up. Don't hold on. Let everything be loose. Feel the weight of your body pressing you down as you step. This time, turn out the left toes to half past 10. Move on to the left foot, turn in the right toes to half past 10. Keep turning. Now all my weight's on my left foot. Turn back, let the arms swing through to 12 o'clock, forming a hook. Single whip facing 9 o'clock. Snake creeps down. Golden rooster stands on the left leg. Golden rooster stands on the right leg. Turn to 10:30, step behind with the left, scoop up the center with the right hand and sit away from the right hand. All the weight in the left foot, left hand palm up on the hips. Going into the kicks. Open, close, open. Dropping the elbows, dropping the wrists, pushing out the right toe. Separate right foot. Walking to 9 o'clock. Lift the hands towards 7:30. Bring in the left foot. 4 turns. Opening, closing. Open. Drop the elbows. Drop the wrists. Pick up the left toe. Push it down. Separate left foot. Turn to the right. Step behind with the left toes. Cross hands. Spiral up. Opening. Kick with heel. Drop the elbows. Drop the wrists. Kick with heel. Settle. Brush left knee to a step. Open to the left, open to the right, and punch. Down. Open to the left. Brush left knee, brush right knee to a step. Open to the right, pull up a fist. Step left, left foot forward. Into the center, lean and punch. Bring the back upright, release the fist. Turn clockwise with the weight on the right foot. Hands turn, step left, ward off right. Same as the beginning of the form. Roll back, press, push, single web. Single whip facing 9 o'clock. Four corners. Sit back. Drop the left hand palm up underneath the abdomen. Move on to the right foot. Step left to 1:30. Left foot forward, left hand high. Bring all the weight back to the right foot and turn. Left elbows over the right hand. Draw the left arm through to the hip. The right hand in front of the abdomen, one span. Right foot forwards, right hand high. Second corner. Third corner. Stepping to 7:30, left foot forwards, left hand high. Fourth corner. Stepping with the right foot. 4. Right foot forward, right hand high. Go back to the left foot, weights in the left foot, long in the arms, turn, bring the left right toes in. Sit back to the right foot, ward off ward off left. Same as the beginning of the form, ward off right. Roll back, press. Push. Single web. Facing 9 o'clock. The last third of the form. Snake creeps down. Sit back, hands palm up in the hips. Open up the left foot. Jab down. And both palms down. Sink. Punch to 7 stars. Weight in the left foot. Drop the arms. Step behind with the right. Step up to right tiger. Facing 9 o'clock. Turn to sweet lotus. Circle on the ground, bring the right knee up and across. Step out to 10:30 with the right foot. Turn the hips, the hands trail the movement of the hips. Sit right back to the left foot into 50-50 with the fist on the hip. Bend bow, strike tiger, to shoot tiger. Onto the right foot, turn to the Hopos-10, sit back, release the fists. Turn, drop the right hand underneath, the weight on the left foot. Bring the weight to the right foot, lift the left knee. Walk forwards. Step forward, deflect downwards, intercept, and punch. Cross hands. Hands turn over a ball and glide down with the legs sinking. Turn open the left foot, walk onto the left foot. Turn back, bring in the right heel and come back up. Rest. Place of calm. Settle. There we go. The whole of the short form together. Well done. That's great. We have a few minutes left. We have 7 minutes left. So what would you like to look at? Any postures in there you'd like to go over? Or any aspects you'd like to ask about in Tai Chi? Or for your own practice over Christmas, anything at all?
One of the big ones for me, and it's something I have to concentrate on, is moving into single whip. It's just that the whole coordination, moving the feet. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I regularly look at it, and I'm still,
Okay. The trick to single whip is to get yourself really nicely grounded in the front foot. So when you're here, sorry, did you mean single whip or snake creeps down?
Single whip, moving into it.
Moving into it. Okay. Sorry, I misheard.
No.
From the push. When I sit back, there's a quality of sinking in my movement. Okay, if I just move back over my foot, I don't feel grounded. So when I sit back after push, I look for my foot and I let my body weight drop slightly towards my foot. And this stacks the body up into the left foot. So the sitting away from the hands is less of a movement that's up in the upper body. It's more what the base does. So I'm definitely bending my back knee, and I'm definitely softening my lower back, and I'm definitely relaxing my shoulders as I sit back. And that sitting back is very similar to the changes that happen inside the body when I do this exercise. So the melting down through the body that I practice in this exercise is what's happening here. But I'm just moving on to one leg. But now I feel grounded and stable and connected. Then I can turn. Now I've got to do the same to my right leg. I've got to move my body weight across, but it's not really in a cross movement. It's a straight down movement to my right leg. So now I feel stable and balanced in my right leg because I've changed in such a way that all my changing was to make me stable. If I just think it is a horizontal movement, of the body, I will throw myself out of alignment because my legs aren't adjusting accordingly. But I tend to think of the movement as a downward spiral. And I tend to think of it like water going down a bar. Every single time I move to a foot, I'm sinking. So here, I'm sinking to my, even though I'm not turning, I'm sinking to my back leg. Back so you can see my feet. I'm sinking to my back leg. As I turn, I'm still sinking. Now I'm going to move to my right leg, but I'm sinking straight down to my right leg. Now I'm stable on my right. I'm sinking as I turn this way. I'm sinking as I turn this way. Now I can step, move in, square, sink, small expansion. So you have to find out what you're doing that makes you do that in it, where you're tight in your body. Yeah.
That's really useful. Thanks, Luke. Yeah. Christmas homework.
Yeah, homework for Christmas holiday homework. Fantastic. Try it after a couple of glasses of port. When you care less, right? And you'll just let the body be loose. It's quite nice. Late at night. There was a period in my life where really difficult period where I was kind of splitting up with a girlfriend I'd been with for quite a few years, and the time I used to go and practice was about 11 till 1 o'clock in the morning. I really did 2 hours practice every night. And it was a really good time because I was tired and I didn't worry too much about my practice. It just got me away out of the house and in the quiet time, you know, when the stars are out and away from everything at that time of night was really nice. And there's something about doing Taiji in a way that is not so precious. Not so precious. Yeah. I did it. There was the discipline to do it. But I just kind of let myself be tired with it. And a bit like, you know, have a glass of port and be less precious with it, enjoy it. And your body will teach you. If you can listen to your body will tell you how to get stable. It knows what stability is. Okay. Good. Good. Well, I wish you a good break. Who's coming back to the beginners group in January? Excellent. Okay, good. We're going to start right at the beginning. Of course, you won't be at the beginning, right? And even though we'll be in a beginners group, and I've got 3 or 4 people signed up already, I would expect you to have very different questions to the complete beginners, and that's fine to ask them. And it'll be good I'll answer them to your level. I won't answer them to the beginner's level. If you ask me a question, it'll be to you. But don't feel you have to kind of like reduce what you already know to the complete beginners. But when I talk about things in a really, really basic way, which is where we were at a couple of years ago, you will feel it very, very differently. And you'll understand it in your own way very differently. So, you know, when I'm saying, or, you know, shoulder width stance and put your feet like that, you'll be feeling, oh, what's my tail doing when I'm in shoulder width stance? What are my hips feeling? How is my pelvis rotating and tucking under? And of course, the beginners won't be doing any of that. So you'll be working it, you'll bring your own understanding to it, but we'll go through it very constructively from the beginning. I think it'll be useful. And of course, you won't have to remember the moves because you'll pretty much know most of the moves. And those that you don't know so well, you'll just make small adjustments more accurately as you go through it again with the mobility you've got in your body that the beginners won't have. Oh, great. Good. Look forward to that. I will send you all the enrolment details early January sometime. We'll get on with that. Great. Wishing you a happy Christmas.
Yeah. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas,
Yeah.
thanks.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, enjoy. Take
Yeah.
care. Be well. Be happy. And we'll see you in the new year.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.